Welcome to the new story event Amidst Wings of Grey, featuring Daiyan and her sister here on the background, and some other doll which name I do not know. But the other two, especially Daiyan, I do know from NeuroCloud. Her design and her story chapter are one of my favorites, and I wonder if it also will be true in Girls Frontline too. Also, I'm not sure which Daiyan it is. Is it after Margracia? Is it some new Daiyan? I don't know what happened after NeuroCloud anyways. So we'll probably find it out. Let's start with the first chapter. Acquaintance in flower beds. Dandelion slowly exits the room and stands upright under the night sky. The clouds gradually scatter and the moonlight shines on her. While she is the only one in the garden, a pair of images suddenly appears. I know Dandelion from chapter 5. She seems to realize something and closes her eyes. Her mouth curved up in a faint smile, and she bows, as though welcoming someone. You are here. It's your first time coming to see me in 10 years. Makes me feel a little lonely. There's nothing in front of Dandelion, but that familiar form in her eyes is standing before her, clear as day. We haven't seen each other for so long, but you are not even discussing anything related to me. Oh, cruel. It might just be an instant of you, but it's a long time for me. And for that person, it is endless torment. That's terrible, don't you think? Isn't that just too cruel for that person? How could I possibly refuse you? I was just gripping. Surely you will permit me to indulge myself a little, won't you? I knew it. Selfishness is unavoidable, even for someone like you. Dandelion looks at the girl before her, who does not deny this, and shakes her head as though in self-mockery. Everything has changed, possibly for the better, but possibly for the worse. Everything that happened 10 years ago feels like a lovely dream compared to now. Something I wonder if I have ever woke up yet. 10 years. It's something related to Commander, that means. If not for my neural logs telling me that it actually did happen, I would have forgotten that unforgettable time. Did you expect all of this too? Or were you just standing aside, watching aloofly as we flailed around like a troupe of clowns? Understand. Your arrival implies a new trial is upon us. Still, you choose to stand aside and watch back then. Now you are spouting pretentious lines about how you want that person to walk back into the fire. Don't you think you're going too far? Or is this one of your little indulgences? Dandelion leisurely walks in front of that invisible presence. Her face does not change, but Dandelion, who was born of the same origin as her, already knows the answer in her heart. Yes, I know. I have to do this. I know them well. For them, trials have never been a difficult thing. But that person has lost everything. Wealth, fame, comrades. Their precious future, and all our former friends. Namely, those dolls. Very sure this person is the commander. Everyone and everything has been taken from us. And a great price must have been paid for them to gain the strength to rise again. Yet, more than this strength, it is the question of how to make them once to rise up once more that truly puzzles me. Surely you have a way to steer the future in a direction which is not bound by the terms of Mephisto. Do you not? But if it's you, you would surely reply that everything has happened was means to protect that person. After all, to you, that person is the catcher in the rye. Am I wrong? Dandelion freezes up. For a moment, there is an almost imperceptible shade of emotion on her face. However, she immediately resumes her natural smile, and then continues talking like she's trying to convince herself. After all, living is the most important thing. Talking to herself? That might be true, but it's also a prison of sorts. 10 years is by no means a short span of time for humans. Even if it was the right choice, it still ended up hurting that person. And for the second time too. I wonder, as someone who made such a ruthless choice, do you feel sorry for the person you hurt? Dandelion tilts her head ever so slightly, as though she's ready to listen to a confession. She seems to be looking forward to making life hard for her conversational partner. But it does not last long, because she then proceeds to state her own request. Alright. It's not like it's particularly difficult for me anyway. I shall carefully calculate the odds of you fulfilling your wish. And then I shall move in a mysterious way to guide that person destiny to join with yours. Will that satisfy you, my dear sister? It's just going to take a bit of time. There are no drawbacks for me besides things being a little annoying. However, the price that you will make to pay is going to be so high that even if I'm having troubles imagining it, you know? Alright. Since it is related to that person, I shall have to assert myself and give it a try. I promise to watch how that person's life ends, after all, but in exchange, you will have to help me fulfill our wish, okay? Dandelion opens her eyes, and her face, still with a smile, gently lifts. She gazes on the radiant moon and begins talking to herself in a self-deprecating tone. Goodness, you're just like before, running off and abandoning me the moment you're done talking. Still, the boring days are finally over. An age of fire and blood is upon us once more, and I wonder what kind of destiny awaits them in such a world. Yes, it's been a while, yet until that day comes. Until then, I should probably start doing some of the things I promised her. Dandelion slowly raises her arms, and then she claps rapidly. Almost immediately, A girl with the black hair, like hair, appears behind her. Lady Dandelion, you called? Ellie, I need network access to the beacon network in the central region. Oh yes, help me say hi to the old bunch and tell them their peaceful lives are over. Would you like me to sugarcoat the message? Just give it them straight. They will understand my meaning with joy in their hearts. Yes, we will take care of it at once. The girl called Haley leaves without a sound, leaving Dandelion alone in the garden. When will the day of reunion come? It's such an exciting thought. Detuned. The melody arrives upon the wind. Its notes out of tune. The desolated plains are host to a cluster of buildings that stands out among their surroundings, but are otherwise rather shabby. They sit within a temporary quarantine wall. Several sets of thick railway tracks extend inwards from the distance, intersecting at the small intercontinental railway resupply station. This seemingly unassuming supply station serves as a repository for supplies from outside the contamination zone, and it is also the last and the only hope for anyone seeking to leave the yellow zone. As the quarantine wall's grate opens, a rask, speckled intercontinental railway train slowly pulls into the supply station amidst strident alarms. Radiation cleansing wash is sprayed onto the train cars and pours off the side, emitting an acrid odor. As the train slows down, a deafening metallic shriek echoes within the building, causing the surrounding travelers to reflexively cover their ears. The train comes to a halt and its heavily glass doors open. Gangways extends from the train to the platform, and the passenger steams off the vehicle. The passengers all look tired as they drag their luggage off the train. However, one of them is not like the others, as she hops, skips and jumps off down the ramp. That's definitely Daiyan's sister, which name I kind of forgot right now. Yep, Yang Yu. Ah, that ride was so boring. So much for an express train. I was stuck in my seat for count them, 20 hours. My bones feels like they were being shaken out bits. As an Ellie doll, aren't you made of sterner stuff than that? Oh god, Chinese names. And we don't have even the localization right now, like the voice. Cao Hui? How Hui? Even an elite doll can handle having to sit still in a chair the size of a wash basin. Isn't that right, big sis? An elegant dressed doll emerged from the cabin car. She gently pats Jing Yun's head, which message to soothe their somewhat antsy little sister. It must have been hard to you, but I don't think that's enough to get better of the best little sister in the world. Am I right? Oh, she's so damn good looking. Upon hearing Daiyan's words, Zheng Yu goes from pouting in annoyance to smiling broadly, and she smartly plants her hands on her waist. Of course, I'm just venting a little. It's not as though I was actually bothered by it. Sao Hui? How are you doing? As a doll, being able to get a seat at all is pretty good. What? We should not have asked you. No, it's being hard on everyone. There are still a few more hours until our transfer train arrives. Shall we rest in the train station? Pixies! We spent the collapse pieces we saved up for half a year on the travel expenses for this journey. Was it really necessary? It's true that cross-country travel is a little expensive, but there was an important reason for it. Don't say me, meet the commander. What kind of reason could be worth half a year of income? And that's a secret for now. But once you find out, I'm sure you will be surprised. Definitely the commander. By the way, which city are we and which timeline is it right now? A surprise? I hope it won't turn out to be a shock instead. I'm sure Daiyan has a reason for doing what she did. Should not you have absolute faith in her as her little sister? That's true, but we have spent so much money and I don't even know the reason why. Can't you let me complain a little? Huh? I think our luggage for this trip has been unloaded. Go over and get our traveling cases before someone takes them, okay? My collection is in my luggage. I cannot lose them again this time. Jingyu strengtheningly rushes towards the luggage carousel. Daiyan sighs quietly, and Sao He walks up to her. It really does not help that we don't have any voices for this one. Frankly speaking, I don't really understand the purpose of this journey either. If it's to expand the range of our tour, then there's no point in going so far by train. We won't even make the money for the tickets back with our concert earning. Our destination is far away from our current active radius. I'm sure you would not have chosen this region if you didn't have a reason for it. Indeed, I have a very important reason for doing this. An important friend contacted me some time back, and while she did not tell me why I have to be here, I was sure that it was related to our shared past. An important friend? Does that mean it's related to your past in Griffin? Yes, for a certain reason, my friend did not want to leave any records that we knew about this ahead of time. What a strange reason. Sorry I dragged you into this. Don't worry about it. Besides, it's not like I have anywhere else to go. Dao Hui stretches, seemingly to put Daiyan at ease, and Daiyan responds with a smile. Jingyu's piercing voice rings out from the distance. Pixies! This is bad! Daiyan and Xiao Hu turns to look towards the sound of the voice and see Jingyu being chased by several men in security guard uniforms. The guards are trying to handcuff Jingyu, but her strength and agility are far beyond theirs. Jingyu calls out loudly to Daiyan as she runs. Those stupid guards won't listen to me at all! The smuggler is a tricky one. Get more guys in here to surround her. You are the smuggler! Your mom is a smuggler! As Jingyu makes a bigger and bigger ruckus, the surrounding traveler gathered around to gawk and more security guards swarm over. Daiyan and Zhao Hu immediately runs over to Jing Yu, locking her behind them, and then Daiyan whispers to Zhao Hu, "Don't hurt the humans, otherwise things will get very troublesome." Zhao Hu replies with a knowing nod and attempts to take down the outcoming security guards aside with minimum force. After seeing the doll's prowess, the guard freezes up, unwilling to recklessly approach them. However, there's the sound of a handgun chambering around in the distance, and a middle-aged man who looks like a police officer stalks over to Daiyan and the others. "Railway police! He's struggling, or I will open fire!" "Oh no!" Daiyan looks around herself. While this is just a minor transfer station, things will get extremely troublesome if they do get detained here. Since they haven't broken the laws, their current priority is to figure out why Jing Yu has been chased by those security personnel. "Officer, we're just ordinary travelers. Why are you trying to arrest my sister?" The railway police officer looks Daiyan up and down. He shows no sign of lowering his guard. "Are you a doll? Dolls of your grade are rarely around here. Where's your owner? Get him out here. I want to speak to him." "Officer, we own ourselves, and we have proper credentials. Here's our electronic ID." Still suspicious, the officer scans Daiyan's and the others' ID. His system indicates that they are indeed self-owned and authorized to travel freely. "Damn, so you really are self-owned dolls. That's something you don't see every day." The railway police officer finds it hard to believe their eyes. Then, he looks back to question the security guards who were chasing Jing Yu. "What's with those dolls?" "Our scans reveal weapons in their luggage. They have got guns, lot of guns. We are authorized to be a fire control force and use weapons. Our ID already show this. We also declared their other weapons before boarding the train. You can find it in the hazardous goods transport permits section." The police officer eyes the security guards behind him, who frankly opens his terminal and goes through it. A while later, he lowers his head and speaks dejectedly. "It's all in there." "What the hell are you morons playing at? Don't you even know how to check dolls' ID and forms?" "But our scanners threw up an alarm and we saw the guns and thought we should detain them." "That's why none of you have managed to get a proper position so far. You clowns can forget about being promoted for the rest of your lives." The railway police officer makes a big show of berating the security men while he puts them aside, then quietly speaks to them. "They say that those who can get clearances like this have a complicated past. You should not get involved with them." "Damn it, even humans don't get this kind of treatment." "They are licensed to carry weapons and fire control force. So they must be tactical dolls from some PMC." "A PMC? Then maybe those dolls are..." Uh-oh. Well, that explosion we definitely hear. Suddenly, there's a massive explosion from outside. A huge plume of black smoke rises from the quarantine wall in the distance. As the shock wave from the explosion thrashes over them, many people lose their balance and fall to the ground. "What was that?" The sound of screaming comes from the direction of the explosion, and a panicked crowd begins running this way. "It's a boardroom!" "What?" "A boardroom hitting the quarantine wall!" A boardroom? Run for your life!" Fear instantly spreads through the crowds and the surrounding tourists drop their luggage as they frantically run in the opposite direction. Damn it! How many times has it been this month? Chief! We have got an elite incursion! Get your guns and follow me! Something suddenly occurs to the railway police officer and she turns around to address the doll. We are underground here. Can you help us out? Since you're tactical dolls, dealing with elite should be a piece of cake for you, right? What should we do? We should take our luggage and run. No, we can't. There are too many civilians here. The consequences if the elites broke in here would be unimaginable. But if that was a boardroom, it's not something we can handle. After seeing the dolls hesitate, the railway police officer immediately chimes in. Just think about those unarmed civilians. As tactical dolls, should not your priority be protecting humans? How about this? If you help us out, I can help you apply for security certificate within the railway network. That way, you will never be stopped or questioned no matter which station you go to. Sounds like a good deal to me. Then we will. Wait a minute, Pixies. I have a conviction. Can we get better seats on the next trip? No problem. I will think of something. Upon hearing about the seat upgrade, Jing Yuan's eyes practically grow with excitement. Daiyan looks at Zhao Hui, who nods back in response. Now that her friends are agreed, Daiyan makes up her mind. Understood, officer. Please allow us to assist you. The railway officer entrusted this region to us. Make sure you don't let the elites into the station. Wow, look over there, Pixies. There's a huge hole in that section of the wall over there in the distance. The elites must enter through there. Looks like the walk of the boardroom. What should we do if we encounter it? It's just a boardroom. I will rip it to bits. Surely you know what boardrooms are, right? They are the strong elites, aren't they? I knew it. We won't be engaging the boardroom. If we run into it, we flee immediately. Understood. Yes, yes. Got it, Pixies. Focus. Their elites are drawing close. Prepare for battle. After eliminating the elites within the area, Daiyan contacts the railway police officer over the radio. Officer, this area is clear. There is a breach in quarantine wall here, and there are elevated levels of collapsed radiation at our position. Please warn any nearby humans not to approach it. Understood. Thank you. I have already contacted the nearby railway units to support. Please ensure no areas get through on your side until they arrive. Alright, leave it to us. Also, you'd best not pass through the quarantine wall and head outside. You might run into some bad out here there. Is there a problem over there? We have received reports of unidentified groups being active there, and a lot of people has gone missing recently. Boardroom sightings have been increasing recently, and there are rumors about a cult operating nearby, so you would better not get involved. Thank you for the reminder. We will pay attention to this. Jiang Yu puts her weapon down and stretches lazily. Oh, what the heck, those elites are wimp! After seeing all those humans running scared, I thought we would encounter some big monsters. We are lucky that we didn't run into that big monster. Why did you jinx it? Zhao Hui. There's another explosion, which sounds like it came from much closer this time. It gives Jingyu a fright. Ah! Another explosion? Did more edits sneak in? There's no way those Smug edits could have caused so much damage. That boardroom might be nearby. If it was a boardroom, we would have hit it roads. That's true. We will head over and take a look. We need to completely clear this area for threats. The dolls warily approached the origin of the explosion just now, but the thick smoke it left in its wake has not completely dispersed yet. Fortunately, they don't hear the howling of edits. Apart from the sound of burning and the wind blowing, everything is silent. After making their way through the smoke, they see the breach in the quarantine wall not far ahead. The surroundings are a mess. Sand and invisible collapsed particles are streaming in through the breach. The dolls are stunned by the extent of their devastation here. However, what truly shocked them is that there's something that most definitely does not belong in this place. Like this right in the middle of the breach. Pixies? There's someone lying on the ground. Daiyan looks over and sees a girl with blue hair on the ground. Her hands are tightly clenched around her weapon, and there are 3 strange spheres circling her. Their spheres glow with blue light, and the heat boiling of them makes the surrounding air ripple. It's plain to see that the previous destruction was their work. Is that a doll? Daiyan slowly approaches the doll on the ground, but Cao Hui immediately steps up to stop her. Wait a minute. Don't go over there. Daiyan looks at the fallen doll. The spheres have changed position and begun glowing in response to her approach. It looks like they might attack at any moment. Is that some kind of autonomous defense system? Why does a doll have something like that? I know spheres we have Lenna with spheres, but the last time we saw something like that was around 10 years ago, right? Just as the doll come to a halt, the sphere suddenly flashed with light before flying rapidly in the opposite direction from Daiyan and company. The spheres fly off. Does that mean it's safe? The logic pathways are simple. What if there's another trap? Not picking up any other threats for a moment. The doll looks like she's crashed. Watch our surroundings. I'm going to try and reboot her. You want to do it here? Can't we just haul her back to the train station and be done with it? I have some questions for her. For some reason, I get the feeling that we have something in common. Is this related to the past you were talking about? The reason that we could not know about the head of time? Yes, that's the feeling I'm getting. I'm sure there's a reason that we have come all this way here. While Jingyu looks a little confused, she nods towards Daiyan anyway. After seeing the dolls scan their surroundings, Daiyan begins working on the doll. She carefully turns the doll's body over and finds her connection part. She attempts to connect to the other doll's neural cloud, and its firewall structure seems strangely familiar to her. Are you right, Pixies? Since when did you become an electronic warfare specialist? Connecting to her was easier. The IFF handshake protocol she used is the same as ours. The same? How could it be the same? She has got the same IFF data as you? Haven't you figured out why yet? I don't know what IFF means. Was she in Griffin too? Okay, so this is someone we probably know. Blue hair? From Griffin? I think Corvin is not from Griffin. Who else have blue hair? But then, why don't I remember her at all? You will have your answer once she's waking up. Daiyan breaks the connection and gets to her feet. The other two dolls approach her, waiting for the doll's neural cloud finish rebooting. As she looks at the doll before her, Daiyan has a rough idea of what to expect. Or that sequence. For a crisis to turn around, all it takes is a witch stroke across the sandbox. It does look like Elmo. I am sitting in front of one of the big drops windows beside the main console, blowing on my cup as I sip the revolting instant coffee. I think about how to handle the upcoming situation. I like that he drinks coffee. I assume we are as a commander back here. Paradeus has been signed. Those like Sexton and Dartu have attacked us. And then there's the recent transmission. All this makes me think deep into thoughts. Which timeline are we? Right now I did not complete chapter 7, so probably I missed something there out. While I'm trying to sort things out in my head, something in my heart is protesting. That's us. So the past has caught up with me at last. Just then, Mei-Ling opens the door to the operating room, walking towards me as she works her tablet. Upon hearing me mutter to myself, Mei-Ling puts down the tablet in curiosity and speaks to me. What are you talking about, Commander? It's nothing. It's just an outward, pointless grumbling. How's that doll? Are you talking about Sexton? She's already inside the doll's repair bay. I just ran the first round of comprehensive system diagnosis on her. Looks like she's been very badly damaged. What did I miss? Most of it wasn't from Lida, though. Just what on earth happened to her before this? I wish someone could tell me that. Let's just bring her in and do some basic repairs on her. We will have to watch her around the clock though. Yeah, Peter Grosser said so too. She's already arranging for rotation shifts to man the security cameras. And we will have dual stations in the repair bay. Right then. I can rest easily knowing Grosser's handling things. Commander? What's going on? Are you really going to bring Helena's out with you again? Even since we brought Helena back from Paradeus, she has not been feeling too well. We can't let people keep pursuing us. It's not enough just to keep Helena safe. We need to gather more information and launch an adequate counterattack. I know that, but I'm just wondering. Worrying. Don't worry, Mei-Ling. Everything will get better. Really? For some reason, the look in your eyes seems different from the before. Different? In the past, you always have a kind smile on your face, but ever since you got involved with Paradeus, your eyes have started looking kind of scary. I fake a cough to hide my accidentally display of emotion. After seeing the worried look in Mei-Ling's eyes, I make a show of shrugging to try to calm her down. Sorry, Mei-Ling. I think I recall something from the past. My words don't sound the least bit reassuring, but fortunately Mei-Ling does not probe further into it. Well, if you say so, Commander. I nod to Mei-Ling, and Mei-Ling nods back, though whether or not she actually understands remains in question. How are things on Kovner's end? If Helena is alright, can you have Kovner let me speak to her for a bit? Okay, it's probably after some events in chapter 7 and 8. They ought to be in the medical room. Should I go over and take a look? Yeah, please pass the message on. Mei-Ling nods to me, then turns to leave the operating room. After watching Mei-Ling leave, I take a look at myself through my reflection in the window glass. Am I really that scary? It seems the ripples with that transmission set off in my heart were bigger than I expected. My regret over the past surged to the fore along with my hopes for the future. Before, I had not been willing to recall the past, and neither did I dare dream about change in the future. Right now, however, all the thoughts hidden in my heart are bustling out uncontrollably into my mind. Perhaps I have been trapped in the events from 10 years ago all this time. I look into the glass again, and my face does seem a little twisted. I should drink some coffee, cover it up. Ah, that's hot! Annoyed, I put down my mark and catch sight of a nearby control terminal. I had heard the news that had tied my heart up it not there, just half a day ago. I wrap my temples and begin recalling the events from back then. No time to backtrace, and no time for repair either. I have only been able to go through basic maintenance on everyone. Saxon's out here, and the storm here is bad. We will be alright. Right, Commander? Groza? Enemy numbers confirmed to be just one. It is Sextant. Yes. A burst of static comes from the comms, making it difficult to make out what Groza is saying. Is it just her? No other Paradeus combat units? No. Enemy confirmed to have left combat area. She retreated? I guess Sexton and Dartu are right now have left their companies? She's remaining outside of the firing range and is not leaving. There's a new communication request. Color unknown. Put it through. Groza, stay alert. Mei-Ling displayed the new comms window on the projection screen. I walk up to the projection screen. Okay, there's a sexton with disguise. Good day. I find myself looking at a sexton who is wearing a hood. I cannot be certain if the collapsed storm is affecting the signal reception or if Sexton's vocalization module is damaged, but her words are very choppy, and the simple greeting took her seconds to get out. It's a terrible day. This should be the first time I have seen you in the flesh, Sextons. Chasing us here, hailing us. What do you want? Sextons. My name. You know who I am. Please tell me. Still trying those childish tricks on us? Sextons make no reply or any sort of movement. She looks like a static image pasted on the projection screen. Rosa, sit rep. No abnormalities. No movement from enemy units. I have no time for this. Rather get rid of her. Help me. Sextons takes off her hood, revealing her exposed circuitry, protruding eyeballs, and mangled metallic hardware. Neural authorization. Unlock. Limit. Tell me. Give me the order, Commander. A new comms request. Encrypted channel. Color is light the dawn, shining age in hand. Put it through. Commander? Lenna, what's wrong? Are you busy, Commander? It's nothing, just a battle. The doll called Sexton showed up again, although she looks a little weird. Well, if you need to deal with her, I have got a handy little helper that I can let you. A handy little helper? The commander who conquered far and wide back then having this much trouble with a single doll? Looks like the good stuff Persica was talking about isn't doing that much good after all. That voice. Could it be? I have no idea what is happening. This event throws us from A to B to C. That's right. It's Miss Dandelion. She said she has urgent business with you, so I activated the emergency communication system. And now? Not a good time to talk, Commander. Normally that would be the case, but it would be different matter if she could lend us a hand. Lenna picks up on my meaning and opens a link window. Then the line image instantly projects out of the comms terminal. Dandelion is still the same as she was 10 years ago, still acting all smug even at a critical moment. Still, since she is come knocking on my door, there is got to be something she needs me to do for her. It would be more efficient to let her take care of this emergency until then. You really don't stand on ceremony, do you, Commander? You are always having me clean up a big mess for you. Well, I'm sure it's not a big loss for the great and powerful Dandelion to help us, right? Right then. What's the problem now? I suddenly realize that it's been long since we last spoke like this. But I end up talking this tone with her anyway. For some reason, I'm not worried at all that she will be repulsed by my attitude. In fact, even her seemingly mocking tone is putting me at ease. As expected, Dandelion smiles in that familiar yet annoying ways. Every time I see that smile, I just know she must be laughing like a hyena deep inside her virtual cognition image. But at the same time, I know she will step in to solve my issues. I drag the video message Groza sent back into the comms window. Dandelion instantly recognized the person who did it. Isn't this the third generation doll, Sextant? You know her? I found the information on her easily enough in their NOMFA database. She is the Girard's group's newest product and their pride and joy. A third generation doll. We already know this, right? So just like Raw then. Her hardware is a little more advanced, but from a design standpoint, all I can say is that she's nothing more than a root copy. In short, way worse than Raw. I have no idea what Raw is. A copy? Forget it. That's not important. Although she looks pretty messed up, her fighting power still poses a major threat to us. What should we do? The best way to deal with a fake is the real thing, of course. If I'm not wrong, you have acquired remoting patterns technology already, right? Have you used it yet? Mailing? I have outfilled Leader's Groza and the others with remoting patterns, but for some reason maximum burst output is stuck on 68%. Wait a moment. Is it before Sexta? When is this happening? We already know that, don't we? If I could ever enter the Elmo system, we might be able to solve the problem of the remoting patterns, limit output, and then your squad combat power will rise like whoosh. And then you will one-shot that section before dragging her frame back. I'm sure 3rd Gen Doll's NeuroCloud contains lots of info of the Girard's group. If you let me take care of it, I could crack it just like that. Sounds good to me. We are actually agreeing. That sounds sketchy, like ultra sketchy. Grother, keep a safe distance from Sextants. Dandelion can boost the maximum output of your remoting patterns. Once that's done, take her out and recover the frame. Dandelion? Can we trust her? She's an old friend. In any case, we will upgrade it as fast as possible. Once I give the word, launch the attack. Understood. We will keep our distance and stand by for future instruction. Rosa's team begins falling back, and I signal to Dandelion to work as fast as she can. Miss Mailing, are you the Elmo's adjustment? Will you allow me to enter the Elmo system? Well... You can enter without asking her, you know? Good manners are very important for girls, Commander. You have always breaking your subordinate's heart because you keep forgetting that. You are Miss Dandelion, right? Or are you planning to get into the Elmo system? You need to tell me whatever I can to come it first. Commander? It's alright. She's probably more familiar with the Elmo than we are. And we need to get the upgrade done as fast as possible. Then, please come in, Miss Dandelion. As you wish. Oh, what? The ammo shakes violently and the lights sway as well. The monitor on the commands console begins to throw off sparks. Mailing nervously sucks a breath in, terrified that she has just made the wrong decision. I pat her on the back, indicating that she should not be worried. However, she looks at me with nervous eyes. Soon, the monitor and lights go back to normal. Dandelion must be back. The modules have been cared for very well. Looks like Miss Mailing's more capable than I expected. Are you in our system already? Oh yes, I booted up the data backups from 10 years ago, and thanks to the massive data center on the Elmo and their nearby signal beacon, I managed to upload parts of my virtual recognition images data. Once it completely fused with me, we will all be happily campers here together. I palm my face. The scenario I last wanted to see has come to pass. I can practically imagine the tragic days ahead of us. Wait, a backup from 10 years ago? Have you been in the animal before, Miss Dandelion? Well, that's a long story. You see, 10 years ago, that commander of yours, who leisurely sitting over there, used little old me as a vehicle support AI, and had me slave and labor for them all day long. Hey! Isn't that the same as what I mean is that you helped keep the ammo running in the past as well. So don't worry, I will take a big chunk of your workload. However, the priority right now is to get the remoting patterns up and running. Mailing, have you connected the remoting patterns backend system to the Elmo? Yes. I need you to open the database and give me the necessary authorization so I can go through the past data. Commander, can you give me a minute? I will let you handle it. Looks like it's time for me to talk then. Lenna, where's Colin? I was just about to get to Miss Colin. Dandelion and Miss Colin already contacted me. Seems there's been a change in the situation, so Helena's destination will need to be altered a little. So we are not going to Kiev? Our pre-decision might have been leaked, and Miss Colin's still looking for its source. Until then, we will be transferring Helena to a reliable group. Right now, the Giras group has their eyes on the Elmo. Having Helena remain on the Elmo would be too dangerous for both her and the Elmo. It is a pretty high-profile vehicle. So, got any specific about the plan? I will explain later. In any case, there is much work for you to do, Commander. If just listening all that work takes longer than a minute, seems I will need to mentally prepare myself. Commander, I have finished analyzing the problem with the remoting pattern. Do you want to hear about them? Go ahead. That's amazing. I can't believe she took care of everything in less than a minute. Any problem that can be covered by the Elmo's processing power is not a problem at all. I made some deductions based on the data and found that the data on the plants, engrossers, and the others' remoting patterns was inaccurate, which led to them not being able to absorb collapsed particles at full efficiency. Fully restoring this issue will require sample calibration data, but that sort of things can wait until later. Right now, I have performed some simple simulated calibrations. That should bring the remoting pattern's output from 68% up to 85%. Still not at full output, but that should be more than enough to deal with that third generation doll. Has it already been done? You can use it right away. I don't know if we even need that much of power, because Saxon does not look like she is very dangerous. Understood. Rotha, check your remoting pattern. Can you raise output to 85%? Yes, the remoting pattern maximum output has been increased. Commander, should I continue with the attack on Saxons? Your orders are unchanged. Take her down and recover her frame. Understood. Executing now. Commander, we have recovered Saxon's frame. Estimating 20 minutes until we get back to the armor. Thank you. You have done well. Take care on the way back. Understand. We are heading out. Well, that's Leader Grosser for you. She one-shotted that doll the moment she got an upgrade. I didn't expect someone who sees new threats as much as you would bring along an old subordinate, Commander. I'm not a trend chaser. Really now? But then, why don't I see a single familiar face? Shouldn't you be the one who knows best the reason for that? And best understand what happened back then, Dandelion? Of course I understand. Is there anyone who understands you better than me, Commander? We know there is some contract going on, and the Griffin dolls cannot meet Commander. I simply thought your reaction, when I phrased it that way, would be very amusing. Naturally, I understand that you are bound by the limitation of the Mephisto agreement, because some people are so terrified of you that you thought of you not being separated from those cute little dolls of yours, keep them up at night. So someone put a contract on us and is very terrified of us going right. I think I understood it right. And here I thought you had wasted away to the point where you have gotten used to those days of drifting with the wind. You didn't have to say that. What this, Commander? You mad? Frustrated? Wroth even? I look down and away from her. There's no response. I know that I'm not angry. Rather the fact that she has hit the nail on the head has left me feeling a little guilty instead. All this while, I had thought that I would complete my mission, but I did not want to experience those desperate, indulging things again. Things like watching my friends die and sacrificing my subordinates. Still, despite everything we did, everything we sacrificed, Paradise is still around. If my mission was a failure, then what even was the point of everything I did back then? As I ponder this, the regret I have been hiding in the depths of my heart surge to the fore again. It's not like I don't understand how you feel. Maybe a new beginning might not be so bad after all. Perhaps those subordinates of yours would come back and work with you again. A new beginning? What kind of beginning? Perhaps we could start with a teeny tiny accident? I don't have time for your riddles. Ah, you want me? I guess little Miss Nine will have to explain then. 9. Lena? Oh, yeah, okay, yes. P9. It's like this. Kenny had an idea, and she wants you to meet up with 404 after this. 404. Oh, do I know it? The old squad? You mean with 55s and the others? No, Leva. That is to say, 55 is not on a mission with Miss Cullen now. Kluka leading 404 now. Kluka is... I know, she is 416. She finally became 404's reader like she always wanted. Yes, Luca and her team are on a mission, and Kaden was hoping you could send a squad over to back them up, in case something dangerous happens. That way, you will be making contact with them through a request posted by the Nomfa. Doing that should not cause too many problems. Got it. Give me the coordinates and the time. I will prepare for it. Well, it's not too urgent. Their mission is still in preparation phase. They will let you know if they need support. Also, there's something else which is more important. Like I said earlier, Helena needs to get to Lviv. Lviv? That's right. The non-military force administration has forced under its complete control here, including hospitals with comprehensive care units. However, Miss Cullen wants to bring her in via the intercontinental railway. Sending her via the Elmo would attract too much attention. Considering our past encounters, it's not like the intercontinental railway is much safer. Last time it was because there was a problem with their pickup at your destination. We will make sure it doesn't happen again. But you didn't actually encounter any difficulties on your way there via train, right, Commander? That's true. While the intercontinental railway and the cities it passes through might not be 100% safe, at least the enemy won't be able to attack them so openly. In comparison, moving through the contamination zone is riskier. I suppose that's true. The thing is, while I can still ensure Helena's safety on the Elmo, it is not confirmed to bringing her out without an adequate escort. You don't have to worry about that. There are tons of dolls everywhere who are willing to help you out. Who knows, you might end up encountering lots of friends on the road to Lviv. Encounter, you say? I mean, a random encounter technically is an evaluation of agreement, right? That sounds cool from her. I like down the line. Like her. Of course, if you can get Helena's to safety, it is not like there's no way to deal with the Mephisto. Am I correct in understanding that this is a condition of the deal? Condition. Deal is such an ugly word. I have nothing but good intentions for you, Commander. The more you say that, the more I'm thinking there's other pit trap out there waiting for me to fall into it. Of course, the right to decide is still on your hands. If you are satisfied with your lifestyle of running away, you are of course free to reject my request. As long as you are really all right with that. Okay, that was a interesting flashback. I frowned, then finished the last of the coffee. For some reason, that memory fills me with displeasure. Although I become used to Dandelion's attitude 10 years ago, I am particularly irked by how she is acting this time around. I glance at my watch. Just as I think someone ought to be coming over, there's a ding from the lift. Birthday! Hello? Commander, Manning told me you wanted to see Helena, so I brought her here. Where's Mailing? Okay, looks like all Carvin is back to her senses, I guess, I hope. A Daiyan gate called her away. Apparently, she needs to fix something. More of Dandelion's sticks. Never mind. I won't bother around them for now. I focus my attention on Helena, who is in front of me. Although she just woke up, she doesn't look well. Helena, are you okay? Amanda, just no. Scary. It feels like something was getting on top of my head. It was Helena. Like I was remembering something, but I cannot remember what. She forms pretty good sentences right now. As Helena's eyes fill up with tears, my hands move to it, on to pat her head. My heart is itching for some reason. Corvner, is there anything wrong with Helena's body? Apart from bruises where Krolik hit her, her vital signs have improved considerably. What did Krolik do her? Still, Helena was acting a little strangely back then. There might be something that Elmo's equipment cannot detect. Is that so? I think for a bit, and then I make up my mind. Helena? I wipe away Helena's tears and speak to her in the kindest voice I can manage. I think I should do chapter 7 and 8. Don't be scared, Helena. I will take you to the safe place this time. It will be a place where you will never feel scared like that again. A safe place? Yup, safer than Elmo ever. Not true. Elmo is the safest. You don't believe me? I don't believe you either. You don't really sound very convincing. Not even the commander itself believes it. Commander? I believe, but... Commander, are you going to take Helena away from the Elmo? Yup, can't give us a new pickup point at Lviv. As you know, it is within their non-far spheres of influence. And it also has a place where Helena can get treatment. So we need to get her there safely as fast as possible. Yeah, the Elmo has medical center, but we are not a hospital. In that case, sending Helena there would definitely be a better for her. However, if we are going to a city, Helena might end up suffering organ failure like before. Well, that's definitely an issue. I will head back and consult with Lenna on a solution to that. If you have made up your mind to go, then I will go with you. After all, I am a medical doll, and if anything happens to Helena along the way, I can deal with it immediately. Orfne, are you coming too? Yup, I need to accompany Helena. That way, you will feel much safer and more ease to you. So these spheres and blue hair doll are both of you guys? After hearing Courtney's word, Helena immediately throws her arms in approval. Yay! Courtney is great! I like Courtney. So don't worry about the thing. We will hit out with you, Commander. Commander? Is this really alright? Just leave it to me. I will make sure you will be fine. Helena remained silent for a long while before she finally nods and agrees to my request. I will give Helena some anti-degeneration medicine, then give her another checkup. Oh, was good point. Take care of Helena then. Sorry for messing up sometimes the voice. Courtney nods, then leads Helena out of her room with a smile on her face. I exhale and think. Then I pick up my communicator and describe the situation to Grosso. What do you think, leader? My opinion is the same before. Helena was exposed to their neuters, so we cannot ensure her safety with our present firepowers if she continues staying on the vehicle. Since Miss Kalen has made arrangements to receive Helena, we should send her to her destination and complete the assignment as fast as possible. Finish this as fast as possible, huh? I rub my temples. I know what Rosa is trying to say without her having to actually put it into words. Maybe forgetting about the past would make things easier for me, but for some reason, I know that I cannot do that. I tell Groza what's on my mind. As expected, she expressed her opposition to my idea. Commander, we have very few dolls on hands. Carrying out 2 missions at once would be too much for us. We won't be able to support Squad 404 if we have to cover both you and Helena as well. Meeting up with Squad 404 would be an excellent opportunity for us. They are very good fighters and would greatly improve our combat capabilities. Then Helena? My plan is that Courtney, Helena and I will travel along the route Lenna gave us while you stay behind and secure the Elmo. According to Lenna, 404 situation isn't too urgent, and we will back them up once we finish escorting Helena. So, you won't need me to escort you, Commander? No, there's no need for that. We still have Sextons on the Elmo, and we don't know what her deal is. So I cannot be at ease if you are not on the Elmo. Also, using firearms will be troublesome once we enter the city, which will make your strength very hard to employ. Someone like Courtney, who is good at interacting with humans, is better suited for the task of escorting Helena. Dandelion is decrypting Sexton's neural cloud, but it will take some time to finish. We can use this time to hurry over to the train station. By the way, this whole story is actually connected to the main story. I did not expect that event connects to the main story, because the previous two were not that way. But maybe they will start releasing the main story as events. Rose doesn't reply right away, unlike how she would normally. I suddenly realize that what I just now said might have made her unhappy. However, Gross is not silent for long. She speaks to me in her usual tone. Understood, Commander. Let me do the planning. So this event is kind of connected to the main story, which I did not expect because it was not like that before, and I definitely missing chapter 7 and 8. Well, we will end the episode 1 here. As for this event, it's not wise, so the episodes will be shorter than usual because of the reading times. But yeah, let's see what's happening next. I bet that the blue-haired girl and the spheres are from Helena, and we actually encounter it there. And we will be back on Daiyan's POV. So thank you for watching and listening to the first episode, whatever I call it. I wish you a good day, night, afternoon, and see you in the episode part 2. Take care.